What's up there, misfits? Welcome to Pages of Ascension. Welcome back if you've been hanging with me. Welcome to a brand new week, okay? So this is not necessarily a new series, but kind of a new twist on an old series I was doing called the Ether Readings, okay? So this is a collective reading, and it's intended to kind of look at the week ahead and see what energies are coming in. So we're going to be looking at what's seen, what we can obviously see that's coming in, and then we're going to actually look at what's unseen, the things that we don't necessarily see coming in, or even the underlying currents of how they connect to what is seen that's coming in, okay? We're going to look at what's coming overall, and then we're going to look at the energies at play in regards to that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get started pulling our focus for the week with the numerology deck. And while I'm doing that, let's go over a little bit of fine print, okay? So I'm an adult. I do use adult language. If that's something that you're uncomfortable with, this is probably a good time to, exit stage left, because it means I'm probably not the reader for you, but, no big deal, no hard feelings. There's plenty of really kick-ass people here on YouTube, and I'm sure you can find a reader that uses the language that you prefer, okay? As far as pronouns go with what you resonate as. This is an inclusive channel, okay? And of course, last but not least, if you are looking for a personal reading, you can head over to my website, which is on your screen, and poke around there a little bit and see if there's something that appeals to you, okay? So it's looking like our topic, or focus rather, for this upcoming week is personal growth. That's a pretty damn good focus, if I say so myself, okay? So, let's look a little further into that. So what is seen? What is it that we're seeing regarding personal growth of the collective for this next week? So I'm using a new deck, and I haven't quite figured out how I like to shuffle with this deck yet, because it's kind of, awkward on the hands. It's the Urban Tarot. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I like the imagery. I like the take that the artists, their vision for this deck and how inclusive it is, and how much it reflects our modern day life. So I figured it's perfect for a collective reading. All right, so we've got our 2 cards there. Go ahead and move that over here. So it looks like what we can see in regards to personal growth is Dominion, and that is the 2 of Wands. So it almost feels like there's something we're all, to some degree or another, trying to conquer for ourselves, okay? Let me go ahead and get everything flipped over here. So I'm only reading reversals for the clarifying deck, which will be the New Elements era tarot, okay? So, and bear with me, this is the first time I'm doing this particular spread, so it might be a little clunky the first time around. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so what it's looking like is that a lot of us are trying to grow through not just our own personal relationship with money and how we earn money, but how we spend money, what our relationship is to it, how much of a contributing factor that it has to the happiness in our life here, okay? And I say that with Dominion and the Wealth card appearing as what is seen. So this is kind of the focus, I feel like, for the collective for this next week. It's money and the power that we have over our income, our ability to bring in money for our families, how it affects our happiness, how much should we be letting it affect our happiness, okay? And I'm finding that especially when it comes to personal growth, and I've noticed this in my own life, is it being in this time of that thing that shall not be named, as I am personally calling it, that's shutting down countries and stuff in the world, is that the relationship to not just money, but the items, like tangible items that you have. What is it that you actually need? Is that thing that you feel like you must have something that you still really need? And I feel like for a lot of people, that's what has been brought into perspective during this time. And I feel like this is kind of the apex of that energy that we're walking into this week. Now, could it have something to do with the Mars full moon? Yeah. Okay, let's just keep it real on that, right? Even though Mars doesn't rule money, it does rule emotions. Mars is the planet of war. You know, countries have been formed and literally destroyed over this idea of wealth. Okay, what brings wealth into your life? What makes you feel wealthy? Okay, and it's not always money that makes you feel wealthy. Okay, wealth is not always what's in your pocketbook. You can have a wealth of love in your life. You can have a wealth of peace. You know, so I feel like that's kind of what we're walking into this week. That's what we can see. A lot of us are focused on our pocketbook and how we're letting that pocketbook rule our lives. Okay, so I want to look at the clarifiers for this. Okay, can I get 2 for Dominion, please? Only 2. Only 2. Okay, Daughter of Earth reversed. So yeah, some of us might be having some, and then 3 of Wands exploration. So some of us might be, again, like I was saying, reevaluating how we're spending our money, what companies that we're giving our money to, how are we giving our personal power away to this object. Money has the energy that you give it. That's what it really comes down to. So how much energy are you putting an emphasis on money, your pocketbook, right? Okay. I feel like, okay, a lot of us are a little uncomfortable right now. For some people, it's literally the discomfort of wealth. So there's some people who actually might be really succeeding during this time. They're not necessarily having to deal with much struggle as far as finances are concerned. And then of course there's the flip side. There's a lot of people that are having a really hard time. You know, so it's a matter of how and again it comes back to how much are you letting money control your happiness? How much are you letting this thing, this object, have control over your life? You know, granted, money can provide comfort. It is the currency of the 3D. So I'm not dismissing it by any means, but it only has the power over you that you give it. Okay, so I feel like that's something that we're looking into, that we're exploring within our personal growth, is our relationship to that. Okay, having more control over our finances. All right, trying to figure out what it is in life that makes us feel wealthy. How much do we really need to make to be able to feel comfortable? That type of thing. So we've got 4 of Cups in reverse, and then we've got Son of Water in reverse. So you know, this is, a lot of people are kind of just drowning in their own emotional turmoil over finances. And this is, I feel like for some people, this might be the prevention of you tapping into that personal growth, from having those wishes that you do, those things that you want to manifest from coming into your life, is because of the relationship that you have with money. I don't know if you guys could hear that. There's some kid yelling. Okay. So what's unseen for this next coming week is the peace that we're going to gain once we come to the conclusion and answer these questions that we've been asking ourselves in regards to our own relationship with money, Two of Swords. Okay, a lot of us have been not at ease with the financial situation of what's going on around us, and I do feel like there's some degree of peace that's going to come over some people. Now, on the flip side of that, I do feel like there's some people that are going to begin to lose their peace in regards to this. And I say that because we've got the Tower. So there is some type of financial thing that is coming this week. It may be in the form of some type of announcement. Maybe it's that whole stimulus check thing here in the US. Not holding my breath for that. You know, it could be something going on with the stock market, but I do feel like there's going to be a massive upset. Now, depending on how that affects your peace is kind of where you're sitting with your relationship to money. If you're able to kind of take it in stride, with what's going on, I feel like you're going to be someone who does a little bit better with this fallout that's happening. But either way, going through this and exploring these questions is leading to your personal growth, the personal growth of the collective, okay? In our relationship to this physical thing. Like, and again, like I said, we're in a 3D world. It's not to say that money doesn't matter. It is the currency here. But there is something to be said for peace and spirituality and compassion and love for the people around us, and not just what kind of dollar sign is floating on top of their head like a sim. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers for what's unseen here. Can I get 2 cards, please? Okay, we've got the Empress in the reverse. So some of you are just not feeling very nurtured. Okay, and then we've got stability. So the key to gaining this peace that some of you are actually seeking, especially in regards to your personal finances, is learning to nurture yourself and put yourself first. Now, again, it's not to say that money is not important. It's not to say that bills are not important, but it is to say that if you are like losing your hair and not taking care of yourself and not eating properly, and because of the concern and worry about bills and being able to pay that, being able to have control over your own money, then you might need to take a step back and look at what you are spending your money on, because that might be part of what is removing your peace. Like, and a lot of that can go to in talking about like how much stuff do you have around you, and I'm totally guilty of this. Like, you know, do you have more shit than you need? Sell some of it. Get rid of it. Declutter your space. Simplify your life. And then you will find that peace is a natural result of that. Okay? Oh boy. Okay, so falling on top of the Tower card, what, you know, what's unseen, what we're not necessarily seeing coming. Jesus, I can't believe I'm actually saying this out loud. But I'm seeing like literally some type of failure of the financial system, failure of the banking system. We've got 7 of Swords here. Okay. And we've got the Chariot. So I feel like this is going to be very quickly. It's going to come out of left field. It's not going to be something that anyone is expecting. And, one second. And the fact that the 3 of these cards equals 777s tells me that this is something that was pre-written. Okay, now I'm not saying pre-written by the powers that be human form. I'm saying the powers that be. Like, this is a big transitory time for us. Okay, and again, those that are going to do a lot better with this and allow themselves to integrate this into their personal growth are those that are going to be able to just kind of roll with the punches of this. Okay. That is, wow. So the energies that are at play, ooh, for this, we've got envy in reverse, and we've got the fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, in reverse. This is not how I thought this first reading was going to go. Okay. So for some of you, what is hindering your personal growth, especially in the realms of finances, is the fact that you are uncomfortable with this idea of wealth. You're uncomfortable with the people around you that have money, that are well off. Okay, so there's an envy there. On a much larger scale, I'm feeling like this could be coming from other countries, even that are envious of the superpower status that we had, because I'm not necessarily feeling like we have that so much now based on what's going on. Like it's slowly being torn down with this tower energy. And as I'm looking here, like there's 4 sevens on the board. Like this is divinely instituted change that's happening. And the best way to have this aid your personal growth and for you to have a piece of dominion over your own life is to just roll with it. Don't fight the current on this. Be very careful about where you're spending your money. Okay, what companies you're supporting. Be careful with your budget. Don't spend money on things that don't matter. Don't add more crap to your life that you don't need. Okay? Invest in things that have value as they grow, like a house, for example, you know, things that don't depreciate in value. Okay. And with Gabriel appearing here in reverse with the fifth chakra, that tells me, like, I feel like there's so many voices that have been oppressed for so long regarding the inequality of wealth distribution in the US that we're potentially looking at some type of uprising after this tower moment hits. God, that is not what I wanted to deliver this first message. Okay. Yeah, there's people that haven't been vocal about this or vocal enough about this, and I feel like we're about to start a crescendo in this. Okay, so what's coming is Wunjo. Now, perfection and joy ushers a period of peace and comfort. Bask in success, rest and replenish yourself. Okay, so it's saying everything is going to be okay. Use this time to bolster your success and happiness. Do things you enjoy, cultivate friendships, and allow the goodness of to enter your life. So I feel like really what this is saying is, as difficult as it may be right now to not hyper focus on your wealth, remember that there's other things in your life to be grateful for. Okay? Friendships, partnerships, children. There are other things that we can be grateful for other than hyper focusing on money. Money and love are at the same vibration. To some degree, they're almost opposites, right? So focus on love. Focus on loving the people around you. Focus on loving yourself here with this Empress in reverse. Some of you are not taking care of yourselves, all right? So, I think we're going to call that here. I'm going to go because I was not expecting this at all. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so peace be with you. Remember, your peace is your power. You let nothing destroy your peace, okay? I cannot stress that enough. It's at the end of every video. If those of you who actually get far enough and watch the video see that. Your peace is your power. So as we're going through this next week, which I'm picking up is going to be a little on the tumultuous side, remember that. Okay? Remember that. And when you get to a point where you feel yourself getting overwhelmed and the anger rising up within you, remember again, your peace is your power, and draw yourself back to center. Okay? My phone's doing really weird things now. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll see you later.